Hello Bit2Mers, today we are going to talk about what is hash rate. Let's start. The hash rate is the numeric value within each cryptocurrency that uses the proof of work. It is a value that indicates the number of computational operations that a miner or the network of miners can perform. This concept was born alongside the first cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. And since then, it has become an element of great importance, capable of indicating all its power. Since the hash rate indicates the number of computational operations that a miner or miners' network can perform, it has become the primary weapon of every miner. Since a high level of hash rate is the difference that allows one miner, and not another, to generate a block, and therefore, get the reward in bitcoins. There is a fierce struggle to achieve mining equipment with increasingly optimal and faster computing power. And that allows you to have a high level of hash rate to mine as many blocks as possible on the network. To mine a Bitcoin, you need an electronic device capable of resolving hashes of the SHA-256 type. At first, a simple computer was enough to solve system hashes. But today, Bitcoin's dynamic complexity has increased to surprising levels. Therefore, specialized hardware is needed to resolve hashes, such as ASIC miners. This reality allows us to understand that the hash rate is also more than a numeric value, and it shows us the potential of a miner on the Bitcoin network. In addition to showing us the power of a miner individually, the hash rate also allows us to measure and understand the power of the network as a whole. This value refers to the overall capacity or capability that a network has to solve the cryptographic puzzles resulting from the proof of work and the implemented cryptographic function. In the case of Bitcoin, the network is made up of hundreds of thousands of miners spread geographically around the world. By uniting their potential, they add up the most powerful network that exists globally. More than governments, corporations like Google, or intelligence institutions like the NSA. Importance of the hash rate. Hash rate is a demonstration of network security. The value of the hash rate allows us to know how secure a cryptocurrency's mining network is. The higher it is, the higher the level of network security, and the faster the data within it will be. A high level of hash rate increases the minimum power needed to execute an attack by 51%, reducing the chances that a malicious entity can achieve this attack in isolation. On the other hand, the hash rate is also used to calculate the mining difficulty. In the case of Bitcoin, the problem is automatically adjusted every 2016 blocks depending on the time it took to generate those blocks, which is 10 minutes per block. The difficulty is adjusted because the power increases every time a new miner connects and decreases each disconnect. So the algorithm that controls the mining difficulty in Bitcoin adjusts the mining difficulty to ensure that each block is mined on average every 10 minutes. Various network validation and testing processes. In addition to reflecting the power of a miner or the network, adjusting the difficulty, and making a blockchain more secure, the hash rate also works for other cases. How to facilitate certain monitoring functions in Bitcoin. For example, in Bitcoin Core, you can see functions to calculate the time it would take to redo a working difference between blocks, taking the hash rate and the current difficulty. Thus, this value is of great use for the entire Bitcoin system and other cryptocurrencies. One of the most discussed points in the community is the limited number of companies that concentrate enormous technical and hardware capacity for mining. Companies like Bit2Me or Canaan have a massive presence in Bitcoin. These companies create powerful ASIC miners, and they have substantial mining pools, which, for many, represents a risk of monopoly that threatens the decentralization of Bitcoin. However, no problem has occurred so far. The relationship between the hash rate and the total energy consumption of the blockchain network is also a widely discussed topic in the community. The more power is added to a grid, the greater the energy consumption, and this leaves a significant and impossible mark to despise. Although studies show that global consumption of Bitcoin is less than 0.5%, and compared to activities such as oil exploitation and gold mining, Bitcoin's energy consumption is barely noticeable when compared to the annual consumption of countries like Switzerland. This situation has led manufacturers and miners to develop more sophisticated and energy-efficient equipment. However, it is also important to remember that the energy consumption of Bitcoin and other blockchains is not a waste of energy. These networks keep in place unique systems that are considered the future of the world economy. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed it, leave us a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our latest content. If you want to learn more about this topic, visit the article in Bit2Me Academy, You can find the link in the description. Until next time.